In 2022, the murder of 4 students rocked a small town in Idaho and sent shockwaves across the nation. But where is the killer now, and what do we know about his life in jail? When 4 University of Idaho students were stabbed to death in their beds in the early morning hours of November 13, 2022, residents of the college town of Moscow were overcome with fear and grief.
These murders have shaken our community, and no arrest will ever bring back these young students.
The victims were Madison Mogan, Kaylee Gonsalves, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin.
The 3 girls rented a house off campus with 2 other housemates, and Chapin was with his girlfriend Xana that night. For weeks, police seemed baffled as the families of the victims and the people of Moscow anxiously awaited news of an arrest. There was no obvious motive for the brutal slaying of the students, but the killer left something behind.
According to a Latah County police affidavit, a tan leather knife sheath was lying in the bed next to Mogan's body.
DNA found on the sheath turned out to be a match to a then 28-year-old PhD candidate named Bryan Kohberger, who was studying criminology at the nearby Washington State University. More evidence came from neighborhood surveillance footage along with findings from Kohberger's cell phone. He was arrested at his parents' home in Monroe County, Pennsylvania on December 30, 2022. After being extradited back to Idaho, he was charged with 4 counts of murder in the first degree and 1 count of burglary.
Since January 4, 2023, Kohberger has been housed at the Latah County Jail while he awaits his trial.
Currently, his trial is set to begin in June 2025.
A testament to the low crime in Latah County, Idaho, the local jail only holds a maximum of 38 people of mixed gender.
The small detention center, which is located under the county courthouse, is run by a team of 7 deputies, a bailiff, 2 corporals, 2 sergeants, and a captain. Bryan Kohberger is allowed an hour a day for some kind of recreation. He can choose whether he wants to go to the library or to the yard or visit both. He also has access to a phone and a tablet, a commissary and substance abuse education, and worship services. Visitors are only allowed 3 days per week for 20 minutes at a time, and only if they have appointments. As of September 2023, Kohberger's family in Pennsylvania had not visited him in jail, and that appears to still be the case, but they had been in contact with him on the phone. The Idaho murder suspect was said to be a model prisoner who doesn't make waves and keeps to himself, which may not be too hard since he's segregated. As News Nation reported in March of 2023, Kohberger had his own TV with basic cable in his cell, and overall he tended to avoid involvement with other people. He reportedly turned down mental health services, but spent about a half hour a week with a pastor for Bible study and prayer.
We just go in there, have Bible studies, usually about 20, 30 minutes, and pray together.
The Daily Mail sent a reporter to the Latah County Jail to meet with inmates there to talk about what Bryan Kohberger is like and how he spends his time.
From what can be gleaned in that report, Kohberger is not friendly, avoids conversation, stays in his cell a lot, and keeps his eyes forward when he walks through the facility. According to one inmate, he always has the same expression, or non-expression. He just looks straight ahead. I've never even seen his eyebrows or mouth move. He never says anything. The only people he seems to talk to are the pastor he sees weekly and his attorneys. He's also said to be very interested in watching the news coverage involving his case.
One person being held at the Latah County Jail told the Daily Mail reporter,
"He watches himself all the time. It's really kind of bizarre." All in all, Kohberger seems to be an unsettling presence in a small jail mostly populated by people who are there for far less serious crimes. Kyler Ledet was released from the jail but told the Daily Mail that he'd seen Kohberger just a few times, and although he was always flanked by guards, Ledet and the others were nonetheless wary of him. He said, "Nobody liked the guy, I could tell you that. There's a lot of hatred, but we were in awe of him. Nothing like that really happens around Moscow. It shocked a lot of people."